Hello YouTube, my name is Ruben and this is my 88 Toyota 4Runner first gen, and today's project I am going to fit these Milwaukee Packout bases right here in my cargo area, and it looks like they're going to fit. What's cool about these, I was afraid I was going to have to trim corners, modify these to fit, but actually they fit like a glove. They have a keyway right here, so you can butt them up. My neighbor went by. Anyway, and it looks like they'll fit perfect. The only problem I have is there's the D-rings, the factory D-rings kind of bulge up right here. So I'm going to remove those and see how that affects it, see if it'll get it level, and see how that turns out. So with that said, my plan is to put an ice chest and a Packout tool kit right here, a box, so that I can run my recovery gear or my camping gear. And then the other idea was to, with these two here, I could put another full one right here. It'll probably end up about here, all the way this way, and allow me to put a tall box that'll open all the way up and not hit those the back rear seats. And then maybe I'll put a half one here for a smaller toolbox, maybe like an ammo can style. Anyway, I'm planning to run this taller box here, and I've got another pack out there. I got some other stuff over here, so I'm gonna try to fit all this in here. So that's the plan. See how it turns out. Just to show you real quick, I did start to lift this up. Looks like it's going to be simple. Just gonna take that D-ring off and save those for if I ever put them back, and go from there. That's the hole for the body mount, and then this is I believe it's a 10 mil, which is probably one I lost. Anyway, see how it turns out. All right. At this point, I got the D-ring off and I've been test fitting it. And the only problem I'm having, it's not major, but this sits just a tad bit higher than here, and then I've got this bolt over here that kind of hits with this right here. So my thoughts were to maybe Dremel this and this down just so I can get it a little more flush. But what's happening is they're both coming in an angle on both ends. Not a big deal. I could put some shims underneath it, some fender washers, and get it level. But I thought, well, let's see, maybe I'll take this padding, and I know we don't want to butcher up our original stuff, but I might just cut this off right here and get rid of this flap, and maybe this will lay down a little flatter and give me what I need. It's not a big deal really, but I'm a perfectionist and I like to make my stuff, even though it don't look like much in here, as dirty as it is. I try to like to make my stuff look plumb and flush. It's just habits from being in the trades. Anyway, see what happens. Worst case scenario, like I said, I have to modify and trim this. I don't think it'll be enough, because if I ever in the future want to move this over somewhere else, I can still reuse it. I'm just might take a little bit off of here, because it is sitting on top of this bolt, causing it to lift up just a hair, but not a big deal really. There's more than one way to make it work, so I'm going to try this out and see what happens. Alright, I got them installed. I had to figure out how I wanted them to fit, and the solution I came up with, I ended up there's a bolt, this bolt, there's another one right here, so I ended up having to Dremel about 1/4 of an inch on the bottom of this thing so it'll fit flush. I know it's probably don't really have to do that, but I just wanted to get it flat as I could. Did the same thing on the other side, and everything looks good. I went self-tappers. I know it's probably not a good idea. Self-tappers here. Actually, there's a frame rail that runs right across there, so I got into some strong metal. These two I had to skip it and go outwards. I may replace those later with a 1/4 20 hardware. And then I just did one here and one here. this ribs start to slope down, and when you pull on these, they tighten down. If you were to do it, it would pull them down and probably bow it. But not a big deal. You could put some spacers, some washer, quarter 20 washers under there to shim it up. So I'm going to leave it like that for now, and then let me try to do this with one hand. I'm going to get my box up here. Try not to. There we go. There's that one. That's a tall one. I'm planning to put my tools and my recovery gear in that one. And let's open that up. It doesn't hit my extinguisher. The only thing is I had a high lift jack that mounted right there. Came down an angle and sat about this area. So I sacrificed that. I haven't used it in 3 years, so might just relocate that somewhere else, or not bring it around, not use it. I don't know yet. I got room in the back to put other gear. I could put another one of these in the back, just one, and maybe a half of one, and try to fill that up with Packout gear. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I want to be able to put my camping chair and maybe a little table. I do have a tire table. It's that one. I've got my camping chair. Usually when I go up wheeling, I just need ice chest and the tools in case I have a problem, and recovery gear, and that's it. Unless I plan to spend the night, I got room to put the sleeping bag in the tent, because I normally just tent camp when I can. And that's about it. Here, I'll throw this one up. Left arm is not as strong as my right. My right arm's not as strong as my left. Sorry about the mess. Okay, okay, there we go. All right, so I got that in, and it looks pretty good. So the plan is to put ice chest and tools. I was thinking about getting that new Milwaukee, I don't know what quart that is, the big one. That's $250. Ice chest right here. For now, I'm going to use the Walmart Ozark Trail I've had for 4 years. It does me just great. I'll strap it down on that, and then I would like to eventually get the pull-out drawer pack out and have my camp stuff on there and make this a camp stove. Have a nice little setup, and not a camp stove, I'm sorry, a cutting board where I could put my camp stove and then have the cutting board and have that all decked out for overnighters. Anyway, that's how it's turning out. Let's see how I like it. Oh yeah, the one thing I didn't care for, but I'm willing to live with it, is it's pretty close to the levers. I have room to kind of take them off and get to this, but for the ones that are down low, I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of a challenge to get to that. So I have to open this up, and then I can open these and get to my gear. That's my RC car stuff. I'm into that too. And this is empty right now because I'm just test fitting everything. So that's what I got, and I'm gonna go with that for now. It turned out pretty good. Put everything back together. As far as putting my tools back in, I got it all tore apart right now, and get it all put together. So anyway, thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you on the next one.